Hello, hello, my friend. Welcome to this lesson. I'm thrilled about it. And I'm well lit today because we just recorded a podcast, and this subject is something that came up on the podcast. It's something that I coach on a lot. And I really want to like underline, highlight, red pin, circle this concept because I think it's tremendously useful. I know that a lot of you slash us have struggled with the notion of being too in our heads, specifically when we're performing. One of the things I talked with my guest today, Mel Ma, who is a mindfulness, meditation, and yoga teacher, as well as a choreographer, film director, and writer. She's so many things. And she is huge on presence, being present, but also the practice of meditation, aka leaving your thoughts or leaving your mind, attending to but not being in your head, releasing thought, releasing mind instead of being too about the mind. Anyways, must watch this episode. But one of the things that came up that I wanted to remind you of today is the notion of creating a plan, having structure, practicing a thing, and then releasing it when it's game time. So if we're talking about an audition context, yes, absolutely. Work hard, learn the material, plan your freestyles if you must. And then when you get on the floor, release your plan and let what happens happens. This is exceptionally useful, I think, when you have a long rehearsal period. Maybe the example of an audition was not the best case, but um, I have felt tremendous reward from, and I've heard this technique, this notion that you should have a plan, work hard, make a beat by beat. In my acting class, my teacher was a huge proponent of this also. Have a plan for what's going to happen beat by beat. And then when it's time to put the scene up, fuck the plan. Be present, be in the moment. And this conversation with with Mel Ma has helped me give words to exactly what that looks like or what that means. When you prepare, meaning rehearsal, whether that be, practice at the bar, ballet bar, or practice memorizing lines, like you put in the work, you experience discipline. You experience the desire to not want to work hard because that's our human brains, and then you do it anyways. That is what I mean by work, is something that it's like the degree of effort to a point that you would want to stop because it's uncomfortable, and yet you decide to keep working. That is what I mean by preparation and planning and having done disciplined work. And then what I mean by fucking the plan is allowing yourself to effectively forget everything that you have planned and trusting that that hard work will show up for you. And what I found today on the podcast is some imagery that I think will be helpful in that process. Mel and I talked about the direction of flow when it comes to preparation versus performance. In preparation phase or creation of a project, a lot of people think that the creative impulse or the work, the art, comes from outside oneself through the conduit, which is the artist, and then gets spit out as being an art product out there in the world. Um, you definitely have to watch the episode because Mel and I talk a little bit more in depth about that and whether we believe that or not. But in that workflow, there's one direction of art, art in, and then art out in a linear way. What I'm suggesting for you, what I'm encouraging for you to think about uh, now is that your work, the effort, the practice, the determination is behind you. It all happened in the past, and it is flowing through you from behind you, supporting you from behind you. So you don't have to reach for it. You don't have to turn around and pull for it. You keep your eyes moving forward, out, so that you can even change direction if needed. It doesn't need to go the same linear direction that your preparation has prepared you for. It doesn't need to be linear. That support can guide you, but because you're facing forward and looking in all directions, that momentum, the momentum that comes from doing the work in the moment, when you forget the trajectory of the work, can lead you in many different beautiful directions. This is what I have for you today, my friends. The reminder that most of you have already done a tremendous amount of work. You don't need to turn around and look at the work to pull from. It's there. Trust that it's there and will be motivating you forward so you can be present. You can fuck the plan, stay open to impulses, stay in communication with your impulses, and then follow, knowing that all of your hard work and training will support you no matter what direction you go. Scary, right? Simple in speech, scary in practice, but so rewarding, my friends. I hope this is useful for you today and always. Thank you so much for being open to discomfort. This is progress. This is what it looks like. Sometimes it looks like being uncomfortable. All right, my friends, that's it for me. Take care.